Well, this is a rather unusual video. No unboxing, no watches, no vinyl. It's more of an update about me and something that happened to me last Friday, 21st of Feb. I was pottering around in the kitchen making dinner for my eldest daughter and me, and suddenly I found myself on the floor and I couldn't remember how I got there. Maisie must have heard something because she came running out of her room and came to check on me. "What's up, Dad? Are you okay? What's happened?" Anyway, she clearly realised something was wrong and ran downstairs, pounded on the door of Tracy, my girlfriend, who lives in the same building. Tracy wondered what on earth was the hammering at her door, so she ran upstairs with Maisie, and as soon as she got in the apartment here, she said, "I'm calling 911, Paul." And despite my protests that nothing was wrong and that we didn't need to bother anyone, she went ahead and did that. And as things transpired, it was a good job she did. Within 10 minutes, an ambulance was here. The guys brought the trolley right up into my apartment, right here, almost where I'm sitting, and loaded me onto it, strapped me on, took me downstairs in the elevator, out into the parking lot and in the back of the ambulance. Tracy would later explain to me that I was exhibiting all the classic signs of a stroke. I had facial droop on one side and drooling. I was unable to follow her instruction to lift my left arm or my left leg. Within 5 minutes we were at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which I can even see through my patio windows. It's that close. And there they did a CT scan which revealed a clot on my brain. The doctor who came and told me about this said, "We need to airlift you to Halifax, the Queen Elizabeth II hospital, because we're going to administer a clot-busting drug here, but in case that doesn't work, we don't have the technology to do the invasive surgery that the QE2 does in Nova Scotia." So back into the ambulance and up to Charlottetown Airport, and next thing I know, I'm being wheeled into a life flight fixed-wing aircraft. Thank God it wasn't a helicopter. And within 25 minutes we were landing in Halifax Airport. In a further 10 minutes we'd reached the QE2 hospital over there, and they performed another CT scan. They were glad to report that the clot appeared to have almost entirely dispersed. So they carried out a further CT scan later that day, during the night in fact. They woke me for it and declared themselves happy that it had dispersed, so no further intervention was necessary. Of course, in the meantime, my daughter, in fact both my daughters, the younger one as well, and Tracy were looking for text updates from me. Luckily Tracy had remembered to put my phone and a charger in a little bag and taken it to the hospital with her, so I had that and was able to keep them informed of what was going on. They decided that they would keep me under observation for a day, and then they sent for an ambulance which drove from Prince Edward Island across to Halifax, Nova Scotia, collected me and brought me back here. Wonderful service. I then spent 4 further days on the stroke unit at the QEH, and they carried out a whole raft of further tests, including an echocardiogram, speech and cognitive and physiotherapy tests. And at the end of all that, the neurologist, a very nice lady called Jocelyn Peterson, pronounced herself happy that I had recovered sufficiently to be discharged. So that was music to my ears. Tracy came and collected me and drove me home here, and when I got home there was a huge tub of homemade veg soup in my fridge, so I didn't even have to cook myself dinner for a couple of days. And I was able to talk on FaceTime with my 2 sons in England and a cousin and another friend in England, all of whom I thought would be interested to know what had befallen me. So I guess the way forward is with blood thinning drugs, and because my blood pressure remains fairly high, further blood pressure regulating drugs. And I'm going to have a device to wear for a few weeks which will take round the clock readings of my heart for around a month. The hospital will then get to download the results and analyse them and tell me if anything else needs to be done. So for now I'm extremely happy and very grateful to my daughter and to Tracy for acting as promptly as they did, and to all the lovely men and women at the 2 hospitals I had the pleasure of attending. I'm looking forward to getting out on my bike eventually, although I can't be going hell for leather at it. In the meantime, I've got at least a dozen watches that I've received from former Soviet countries, so I'm looking forward to bringing them out and showing those. And when my current 4-week driving embargo is lifted, I intend to get back out to the thrift stores and see what new vinyl has appeared in my absence. In the meantime, thanks everyone for watching.